Hello and welcome back, everybody. Fallen Pumpkin here. Today we're playing some more All the Mods 10. And today we're doing a little bit of something different here at the start. As the title of the video states, I wanted to go over a little more in depth about how to understand the changes made to a mod pack and some tools you can use to do that. We've been going over the updates at the start. I've briefly shown how to look into some things, but I think truly going into some more in-depth methods would be beneficial for anybody. So why don't we go ahead and get started here. What we're going to do first is we're going to go over the update notes in CurseForge, like when you go to change version. And then we're going to go over how to understand, excuse me, how to understand these lines better. I am going to apologize ahead of time. As you just noticed, my voice is probably going to crack a bit. We're getting back into the rhythm of streaming again since I've taken such a long break, and you've probably heard it, but I promise you it's true. Your vocal cords, your voice, it's a muscle. You've got to work it out, and I haven't been working it out, so hopefully it doesn't bug anybody too much today. But let's go ahead and get started. So in terms of the changelog for version 1.16, there's only been one major update since we last played. It starts out with saying we added KeybindsPurger. I'm gonna show you how to figure out more about that here in a second. They've added Mekanism covers, removed Achievement Optimizer. They made the Omega upgrade, which is used in beehives, as well as a recipe, custom recipe for some materials. It now uses unobtainium, so you can no longer get it super, I wouldn't say too cheap, but it was kind of cheesy how fast you could get Omega upgrades. Stave carts has been added to the All the Mods Star. It's making me happy they're really diving into Stave carts, and we might be messing. I say might, but we're going to be messing around with Stave carts today. I think it's going to be really fun. They added a Nature's Aura quest line in the quest book, which is awesome. They added Ore Hammer Dust from various modded ingots, so now you can use the Ore Hammer to get the dust version of more ingots in the mod pack. They have also added an Undergarden quest, which for those who don't know, the Undergarden is another basically biome type mod, dimension type mod, similar to like Bumble Zone, Deeper and Darker, and others. And so now that there's a quest to guide you through it, it gets really exciting. But now let's dive into the methods I wanted to demonstrate today. So we see these, we know they've added KeybindsMurger, we know they've added Mekanism covers, but we don't know what they do. And for that, I want to show you a few things here. So I've preemptively pulled up a few tabs here, and we're actually going to start on the GitHub side of things. We've gone through this a little bit already, but then we're going to jump to the CurseForge page. Now, in terms of reading these changes, for instance, adding Nature's Aura quests, adding Stave carts to the All the Mods Star, these are things you would research on the GitHub. So here at the All the Mods 10 GitHub page, it's public, it's in the All the Mods group, ATM group. What we're looking for here, now that I've remembered how to properly pull it up, is we want to look at the commits. So here we are at the main page, and we can see the latest thing was that a merge pull request from some number from this merge pull was committed. But what we want to do is we're going to come all the way to the right of it. As you can see, there's been 713 commits. These are all the changes made to the back end of all the mods. So we're going to go ahead and click the commits. And now here's where we can see what's been happening with the mod pack. All the way back on November 2nd, we can see as things are starting to pull up here, Undergarden quests and changes to Bumble Zone. Nature's Aura quests, remember they added those. Fixed Iron Jetpack's Stone tag. And then here is the merge pull requests. These are like the really big ones. These are the ones that like I shouldn't say really big. They're just ones that should really draw your eye. So here is, if we click here, we'll notice that this merge pull request is the Undergarden quest and changes to Bubble Zone that was down here. So this is it being pulled in and whatnot. So if we take a look at this, we can see all the changes that were technically made to the various parts of the pack. And what I mean by that is quests are harder to understand in terms of changes. So it's not the best example, but I just wanted to show this here. And for instance here, we can see that in the FTB quest chapters for Undergarden, this is what was added to the pack. Now, for a commit that's easier to understand, why don't we head on back and instead look at the ore hammer. So this is the change that was made for the ore hammer. As we start to take a look at here, all we can see is that all the ores tagged materials can be turned to dust if the check is successful that the dust exists, and that's how you'd understand that part somewhat. But to get more into the understanding of reading commits, why don't we actually try to find the one of adding Stave carts to the All the Mods star. Now, in terms of finding it, it can be a little hard to find, but what we can do is search for Stave. Oh, maybe not. Oh no, we got rate limited. Are we good? Are we good? Okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to come into the Cube.js folder. These are the custom scripts for custom recipes. One of those is, in fact, like the All the Mods star. So I'm hoping if we dive into here, this is just the Nature's Ores quest. So tell you what, to not take up too much of your time, we won't necessarily look for right now the Stave cart edition, but what we will do, if we come back to the main page, I just wanted you to be aware this commit section is here. I apologize if I wasn't the best at demonstrating it, but here is where you can essentially see the backend config file changes, Cube.js scripts, everything like that. I am seeing some of the stuff we were looking for is here now. For instance, Omega upgrade use unobtainium nuggets. Why don't we come to like one of the latest ones here? And what we're looking at here, for those that are unfamiliar of custom recipes with Cube.js, it is done in a kind of like an array of 3x3. So if we look over my head here on the screen, you will see that while this just looks like 3 lines, because of the spacing, it's a little hard to see, but it's a 3x3 of letters. UHU would be the top 3 of your crafting table. And then NBN, the middle line, UHU, the bottom line. And then they define down here what those letters represent in terms of the actual item tag or item ID. And so what we can see now is that the Omega upgrade has 2 N's, and N is for the unobtainium nuggets. So now we know Omega upgrades to unobtainium nuggets. Now, what they replaced, it seems, is that, let's see, server events, it says output for upgrade productivity 4. I believe that is the Omega upgrade. It mentions here a Heart of the Sea and unobtainium nugget. We'll have to double check exactly what has changed, but at least we can understand now how the crafting recipe is formed and the changes they've made. Now, to move on from GitHub, because I know it's not the most interesting subject, and I am by no means the most qualified person to talk about it. I'm still learning about it myself. I do want to now go over in terms of when they add mods, and you don't know what the mod does, where the mod's from, what purpose it serves. And what I wanted to demonstrate is when you come to the CurseForge page for the mod. So if you searched all the mods 10 CurseForge, this is right where you would appear. All you need to do after an update's come out is on CurseForge, in this tab list of different options of the description, the files, where you download them, the source brings you to GitHub, issues brings you to GitHub, but what we're looking at is relations. What this does is it lists all the mods, their CurseForge page, that are in the mod pack. Now, it's a little finicky using the search function, and here's how I'll explain it. So the first one we want to look up is KeybindsPurger, right? But here's the thing with the search function. While we're in the relations, and right now we're on all relation types, we're not gonna sort by certain types of mods. If I just searched key, nothing comes up. So you might think, oh, I can't pull it up. Well, the problem is that it doesn't go off of small portions. The search function in the relations tab of a mod pack requires the exact spelling of the mod. Timely Miner coming in on YouTube. Good morning. Good morning to you. It's a good night for me right now. It's currently 30 minutes past midnight. But I hope you're having a good one, Timely. So what we're going to do is, luckily, most of the times they've spelled the mod exactly how it's supposed to be in the changelog. So KeybindsPurger, notice, doesn't have a space. So if you actually typed the full name, KeybindsPurger, it will pull up. So keep that in mind with the search function in relations. You have to type the name exactly. And what I've done is I've pulled up KeybindsPurger and Mekanism covers. That's just by searching it here and then opening up. I middle mouse clicked to open a new tab, the mod. And what this will allow us to do is look at the mod page of what's been added to the pack so that we can better understand what the addition is. So in terms of KeybindsPurger, it states that it's a small utility mod that allows you to unset all keybinds in a category, all categories, or non-vanilla categories. And that's it. The usage is that it adds a few buttons on the left side of a category's name in the keybinds menu, where you can just remove all keybinds for a type of mod. So that is what they've added. Oh, nice, Timely. Mekanism covers. If we read this add-on, it just says a Mekanism add-on that adds a simple way to cover its cable and pipes. So this is similar to AE2 covers or integrated dynamics block covering. And it says, it's pretty simple here, craft the cover and combine it with the desired block in the crafting table. After that, just right-click the cable or pipe you want to cover. If you want to remove the cover, just break the block, use a configurator in wrench mode, or wrench of another tech mod. And so it's as simple as that. Those are the two mods they've added. Covers to Mekanism pipes and cables, and KeybindsPurger to assist in the keybind menu. And now that we've gone over the GitHub side of things, albeit probably not the best, as well as how to look at the mods being added to a mod pack through the CurseForge relations page, let's dive in game. We got Bubble Brainer coming in on Twitch. Good morning. Good morning to you too, Bubble Brainer. Good to see you. Let me go ahead and full screen here. And here we are back in our All the Mods 10 Survival SMP world. If you're interested, this server is for those that have chosen to support me as a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber, or for those very generous of you that don't like paying monthly subscriptions. I do in my Discord have a one-time purchase supporter for life. Once you've done that, as long as you're in my Discord, you've supported on the appropriate platform of your choice, and you have in your Discord settings, not the server settings, your individual Discord settings, you have to have connected either your YouTube or Twitch account to your Discord account. If you've done that, you'll get the supporter role in my Discord, where in the pinned section of supporter chat, you can see how to join the server. The whitelist is done automatically. So diving on in, again, our plan today, after making so much progress last episode, I really want to explore more of Stave carts, because I have a feeling Stave carts is something to be more utilized here in the early to mid game where we are. And so I want to learn more about the mod before it becomes obsolete to our playthrough. Now, I did do a few things after ending the stream last time, because my voice had completely given out. And all that was increasing my storage upgrades. I was going to take the cobble and put it through a compacting drawer. I started to fill it up, but then I didn't find a use for it, because here's the thing. I realized how cheap the infinity cobblestone cell and the infinity water cell are with our setup, because we've farmed so much AE2 materials and gold from our pigling, which why don't we get some more of that going? And so what I did, as you can see, if we come to our patterns and I turn on all pattern providers, I added the storage component recipes up to 16K, because 16K is what you need for, excuse me guys, is what you need for the 2 cells. Now, I crafted the cells manually. I didn't put in I made the recipes for the components because the infinity cells, if you take a look here, the water cell is 3 water buckets, and I just did that manually with the 16K storage component. And the infinity the infinity cobblestone is lava and 2 water buckets. So I went ahead and made those, made a very basic drive. I believe I did make a pattern for the drive. And I've gone ahead and thrown in water and cobblestone. That gives us infinite water, infinite cobble in our AE2 system. So I've decided at this time not to compact this cobblestone. I don't know if I'm going to leave this running. I don't know exactly what purpose it would serve. But for now, we'll just let it run, even though we have technically infinite cobble. Now, the other things I did is I did get my player transmitter online. I think we did that on stream with the dimensional binding card, but what I changed was that I moved the starter energy cell we had from Powa right next to it to act as a buffer of extra power to the player transmitter. I started to explore some more various quests and doing basically the easiest ones I could do with materials I had on hand, just to explore some things to be ready for today's episode. And one of those was I wanted to take a look at one of the new, I believe new, Pneumaticraft features, which I'm looking at right now. Some of you might remember this type of mod in like prior Skyblock, like Project Ozone, stuff like that, and that is crop sticks. But in this case, it's just called crop support from Pneumaticraft. And it's actually pretty cheap in terms of it's just 4 compressed iron. And what it is when placed on dirt or soil, it will improve the growth speed of any crop or tree that grows there. Sneak right-click with a logistics configurator to detach them. I don't have the configurator yet, but that's also what this information tab says. So I crafted a couple, I threw them in, and that got me kind of interested in Pneumaticraft a little bit. So you can probably see, I believe I did it over here. I've messed up the terrain a bit. I made some more compressed iron, which for those who don't know, you just blow up iron on the ground with TNT. And I started making some more Pneumaticraft items. And the reason for that was I wanted to get to the Amadron tablet. The reason for that is it can be really useful in early game because the Amadron tablet doesn't just have pneumaticraft trades. While it's rotating trades, it even includes random villager profession trades. And it can even be used to sell your own items to other players. But I wanted to take a look at it here, and basically these trades that are here, they rotate. So you kind of want to check, I believe it's every day. I'm not 100% certain the exact rotation period. I know that it's at least one Minecraft day. But as you see here, there's all the pneumaticraft trades titled Amadron. But then you get down and there is villager trades. In this case, empowered inverted potentia, tin cable. Here's some like vanilla trades, string, leather, gold. And so I wanted to grab these in case we find any that pique our interest, such as an immersive engineering water wheel segment or treated wood scaffolding. Just a way to help us get emeralds, because I started to level up our Fluix researcher. I've gotten him almost to master. We've started with we've gotten the press trades. I believe the next trade is going to be slime and something else. I don't remember exactly what the final trade is. But now that I've leveled him up, I really do want to cure him up a bit. So before we cure him, and before we get into Steve carts, I'm just going to take a minute to show you one of the other things I started and put my Amadron tablet back. And if you're wondering why there's two compressors, that's not necessary at all. But once again, in the generous quests of All the Mods 10, if you are following along, we're going to have to wait for the bit of lag the first time you load it. There we go. If you're following along the pneumaticraft quests, there's tons of sections that offer random rewards. And that's how we got a second compressor. The other thing I did is I just started to get into modern industrialization. For those who don't know, it's a easier, I'm going to use the word easier. It's a more quality of life version of GregTech called modern industrialization. Mid to late game, it can get really powerful. So we're going to dabble in it a little bit. All I've done is I made the forge hammer and a hammer itself, because these are necessary to continue making any of the items here. Because, for instance, if we look at the steam mining drill, it seems pretty simple. Iron large plates, 2 furnaces, 3 diamonds, and a bucket. But then you look at the modern industrialization copper drill head, and you click on it, and then you're like, oh, there it is. There's the tech mod. In this case, because we don't have like an assembler or anything, we would need 3 copper bolts, 2 gears, 1 rod, 2 plates, or curved plates, and a plate. And the way these are made is at this beginning of the game in the forge hammer. So I got that ready for when we start. Modern industrialization, but I don't think we'll dive too much into that today. I really do want to focus on learning the new version of Steve's minecart. So I think that pretty much goes over anything I did after stream. I did want to conduct one quick test, which was to make some more crop support. And while I was reading it, notice that it says growth speed of any crop or tree. So I wanted to conduct a test. If we put this on our sapling and it grows, do the crop supports get destroyed? So we're going to leave this running as a test. And we're going to go to our curing of our Fluix researcher. So as most of you are familiar, zombifying then curing a villager makes the trades cheaper for the person that cured him. Now, Easy Villagers, this mod that's letting me hold the villager and put them in a block, has the ability... Oh, I did that wrong. I'm just going to type @villager. Has the ability to do the curing for you entirely within one block called a converter. All you have to do is apply it a golden apple, or supply it a golden apple and a weakness potion, similar to if you were curing it yourself. Now, to make this, we do need mossy cobblestone, which can be made with vines or moss block. So I was thinking, let me make sure I don't already have shears on me. Okay, doesn't look like I do. Why don't we just quickly grab some shears, because we have all those vines. Oh, look at that. We just got like 3 quests by making shears. But as I was saying, we got all these vines over here. So let's just quickly grab some of them. Make sure the magnet's good. Looks good. We'll fly back over home. And I kind of want to, I got to admit, I want to check my quests really quick. So it was in the food and farming, because we've already made a market. We just needed the shears. Okay, so you can get an additional wool for 1 wool, and the market gives you 1 emerald. And look at this. We got another random reward. So let's see what we get today. We got some ender pearls. Not too shabby. We'll take it. We'll take it. Now, here's the thing. As most of you know, we do not have blaze rods. We need blaze rods to brew our weakness potions, as well as some other materials. And that's when I realized, because you'll notice here, I have a brewing stand. I realized because we have our zombified pigling, which is giving us gold and nether predictions, the nether predictions can be used to make our blaze rods from a bone. So I was just doing it that way. That does use 2, and I'm having a hard time deciding if it's better to use 1 gunpowder for 2 blaze or 1 bone, 2 nether predictions for a blaze rod, but we'll decide that later. We do have rap battles coming in on YouTube. Very interesting comment. I'm not myself too interested in that kind of stuff, but thank you. Putting our brewing stand with some blaze powder, we are now going to be able to make some weakness potions. However, weakness potions, when you take a look at it, they do require fermented spider eye. Now, we don't really have spider eyes, and in terms of mushrooms, we can buy our mushrooms from the market, but it's 1 emerald a mushroom. It's kind of rough. I've bought enough. I think I bought 1 of each. Oh, maybe I didn't. I thought I bought 1 of each mushroom, but I haven't killed any spiders. We don't have a spider eye. So I was taking a look here at what we could do, and it looks like they can only be made with generalized overworld predictions. And since we haven't really done an overworld, there's not... It's going to be difficult, is what I'm trying to get at. But the thing is, we have the slime data module, and this does give generalized overworld. So I was thinking we would pull this out. We'll store our zombified pigling for now, and let's give it some prediction matrices. Now, we're probably going to be short materials, or not. Never mind, we're good. That does remind me we do need to keep cycling for sand in our crusher. What we'll do is we'll take some prediction matrices. We'll try to get some overworld prediction, because all we would need is a red mushroom. Here, let me remind myself here. We do have rotten flesh. That's what I'm getting at here. We have the rotten flesh, which can be used with the overworld prediction to make spider eye if you combine it with apple and mushroom. We have the flesh. We have plenty of apples from our tree farm, but we're missing the mushrooms. Now, in order to get them started, I wanted to take a look if there was any dark oak type forests near us. I noticed this structure over here. I don't know if that's a mushroom, so I wanted to check it out really fast. I'm going to turn up our throttle speed, and let's zoom over here because I'm noticing mushrooms in the forest, but they're all kind of like stylized. And coming over here, it is in fact a giant cactus. So unfortunately, not a red mushroom. We are probably going to have to do our... Oh. Okay, so we have an infernal mob here. Let's take a look at him for a second. See if I can get it to pull up again. There we go. Rare ensnaring cave spider, the unstoppable. Weakness, Weber, unyielding. I don't know if we're strong enough to take this guy on, but if we can keep knocking him into the water, maybe... Oh, he does not take knockback. Okay, I think I'm looking at his health. I think we can kill him pretty quick. Perfect. I do gotta say, I have some mixed feelings about the infernal mobs. It could just be because we're playing on hard, but every single one I've seen has just been like overly overpowered. And they kind of mess with gateways to eternity. So I'm on the fence about infernal mobs. I'm not too sure about it. Timely Miner in the server is saying, I'm not a fan of the infernal mobs himself. So yeah, we'll have to see what comes of that. But to get our spider eye, we now have our overworld predictions. I might as well get some slime out of this. Why don't we actually choose the reliquary drop? And what we're going to do for our mushroom is we have just a couple emeralds. We'll come over here. Go ahead and type mushroom. And I noticed this. There is red mushroom and red mushroom colony from Farmer's Delight. I'm not 100% sure how that works, so I thought we would buy one of each. And we'd give it a try. We'll see what it does. We have the mushroom for our spider eye, but I wanted to see with this colony exactly what could be done. Noticing here on the cutting board, one colony is 5 mushrooms. So I'm wondering, does the colony spread? What did Timely say there? In terms of infernal mobs, it makes it bad for newer players. Yeah, especially the gateways to eternity are supposed to be an easy way to get hard mob drops early on. So if they take that out, I don't know. Now this does, it says mature. I might let it, I just want to see if it spreads like normal mushrooms. So we're going to leave that be and see what happens. The fact it says mature, it makes me think it can be harvested. So maybe we should see, for those who don't, with Farmer's Delight, there's some crops that, like, if you take a knife to, you can harvest. So why don't we just try something here? If we at farmers and type in knife, these are the Farmer's Delight official mod knives. If we take this to the mushroom, excuse me, I am going to cough for a moment. Good old voice giving out on me already. I wanted to see if we could harvest. Oh, punching it just gave us direct mushrooms. Okay, so we've lost our colony. Oh, that's a bummer. Probably shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. Market's the only way to get the colony. And the cutting board goes to 5, so... what I'll do, I'll just have these spreading as natural vanilla mushrooms down here. And I'll have to look more into the colony later. Specifically, if Farmer's Delight Does Farmer's Delight have a mod guidebook? Timely Miner says, I've seen mine colonies only crops. So maybe mine colonies could farm it. We are going to get into mine colonies. For those who don't know, it's like my weakness. I absolutely love that mod. I really do. But what I want to see, I'm not seeing a... I mean, I could type book. Those are just enchanted book, guide. Yeah, I don't think there is an in-game book or guide for the various crops. But I'm sure someone will be able to educate me at some time about that. So for now, let's just move on. We have our red mushrooms. So we can craft directly a spider eye. And we can take that spider eye, and with a brown mushroom, we can make fermented. Now, I am realizing I spent my emeralds already, so I can't directly buy a brown mushroom. But I should be able to, if I come right here and grab some silicon. Take our... Where did I... Oh, he's right there. Take our Flux Researcher. I can hurry and just buy 1 emerald. And get our brown mushroom. Let's go ahead and we're going to buy the colony since we get 5 for it. I'm going to harvest it with a knife. And it sounds like, I think that was Bubble Brainer said in chat on the server. I have a waypoint to a mushroom island if you need. I'm good for now, but thank you. I don't know why I still typed it because I'm sure he can hear me, but typed it anyway. Yeah, I just needed a couple just really quick because once we have our crops up and running, we'll be able to farm all of this no problem ourselves. Let's take our fermented spider eye. And the beauty of weakness potions is you don't need to brew with what am I trying to say here? So you know how for most potions you brew with nether wart. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. You don't have to do that step. Weakness potions can come straight from just a regular old water bottle. So let's go ahead and we'll put in our water bottles and a fermented spider eye. That'll start brewing. And all we need is golden apples and our potions. And just like that, we'll be able to make our Flux Researcher trades cheaper. Now, I already have 1 golden apple. I'm going to make 2 more. 1 for each potion. And the reason for that is we're going to cure him 3 times. We're going to see how cheap his trade gets after 3. And while that's all going, we're going to start diving into Steve's carts. I'm going to quickly add some iron bars. For those who don't know, in Easy Villagers, the converter block works similar to naturally curing a villager in that iron bars speed up the process, or have a chance to. So we're going to add those. Now we'll quickly claim any quests. Looks like it was just slime predictions was a quest. We got 4 slime pearls. I'm going to get just a few more slime pearls. And I think that's all the quests. We can finally start Steve's minecarts. Now, at this time, there isn't a quest section for them yet, I believe. I don't think there is Steve minecarts. So we're going to be we're going to be experimenting here. We're going to be going our own flow because I really do want to see what the mod has to offer, especially for early to mid game. So if we take a look at Steve, I am going to quickly mute ambient zombie, ambient villager. Oh, I already had it muted. How are we still hearing it? Is it because it is through easy villagers? No. Oh, zombie. We're hearing the zombie. There we go. Okay. Should be good on sound now. To get started, I thought we would look at what interests us and maybe work backwards towards different functions that we find here that we think are interesting. And by working backwards from it, we'll probably figure out the general process the mod uses. I took a quick browse through and I didn't see anything resembling a book or a guide. But if anyone knows if there is one for the new version of Steve's carts, I'd love to read through it sometime. We'll go ahead and get started here. I think the thing I'm most interested in to start with, the one that I think would work good as a early to mid game, is going to be the harvesting. Now, I will admit it's not the best start. So I'm trying to look through the art, and I'm trying to find the harvesting, because if you look at the mod page, it shows it looks similar to the create plow, and we're going to try to find it. But maybe if we use some searching here, if you look at farm, there's a basic farmer that occupies the front seat. That's interesting. If we look at, nothing comes up with plow. What about with harvest? Oh, let's take a look here. Hardened drill, woodcutter, saw blade, mesh, hardener. We're going to have to actually try and figure out the name here. Now I'm noticing, do you see how it says module type tool? I wonder if we can search tool. Oh, this is going to be hard. We would need to only see Steve's, and we would need to search tool, but I don't think that's going to work. There we go. So at Steve space $tool. That case just shows track remover, drills, woodcutters. So that's still not what the item we're looking for. This is the hard part when there's not a quest and there's not a guidebook. It's hard to figure out how things work. And that's why today's goal is to just mess around with the mod and figure it out. So since we can't work backwards from the harvesting tool, since we don't know the name of it, what we're going to do instead is look at some of these machines, because we already know they're going to be important. We know that the cart assembler is required. So we're going to look at cart assembler. In fact, why don't we clear all our favorites and start fresh? The cart assembler requires simple PCBs. Simple PCBs are a direct Minecraft craft, so that's nice. We don't have to worry anything about a machine for that. Now, our villager did finish curing. We're going to quickly check what his trades have gotten down to. We're 1 across the board, but we're still 4 for the presses. So I am going to use another cure on him, and then we'll get him to master and see what the master trade rates are at. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by making a cart assembler and working from there. I'm going to make some patterns, since that is what we are working with today, is our Steve carts. We'll go ahead and throw those in there. And then this is actually a perfect moment. Let's see what more we need for patterns. I guarantee you it's a glowstone. Glowstone, iron, and sand. Should we take care of that really quick? I feel we could I feel we could address that situation pretty quickly. Probably just manually gathering some glowstone and getting prepared to make a glowstone seed would be best. I'm also going to get some more sand being made here. Go ahead and grab our cobblestone. Start another crushing cycle. And we'll quickly grab some glowstone, just because I have a feeling... You know what? I don't actually know if this grew and got harvested. So I'm going to take out all the logs, so we'll know if the crop sticks worked. But let's go grab, just super fast, a little bit of glowstone now that we have flight, and come back. I don't want to get too into mystical agriculture today. I want our focus to be Stave carts. It's coming out here. We'll take a quick look around. There's a few glowstone veins around us. Let's head up to this one. Make sure we turn on our magnet keybind, and we will just grab some of this. There's one stack. We'll harvest this vein and we'll call it good. The reason I am doing this is because I want to do a lot of patterns. Oh, I turned off my shaders somehow. Or no, I did. What the heck? Oh, Iris just bugged out. Interesting. So, coming home from the Nether, Iris completely broke. Which is really weird. I'm going to try reconnecting to the server to see if it is a engine bug that is stopping it. Worst case scenario, to get my shaders back, I would just have to relaunch the game. I'm pretty sure. But let's see what happens here. Yep, so it still says Iris encountered an issue trying to load the shader. Unfortunately, I closed my debug log for the launcher. But what if we just come into video settings, into the shader packs, and we just change to regular old complementary unbound? Did launch, and then if we change back... Interesting, so something broke specifically with our shader pack. Who knew? We'll just come to Unbound. Oh, now that's broke too. Okay, before we break anything else, I think we relaunch the client. So give me a second here. We're going to go ahead and relaunch the game. Shouldn't take too long here. I just, I want to be safe and not brick my all the mods 10 install. I will keep the log open this time so we can see the error if it occurs again. And we should be fine from there. Sorry for the delay, everybody. The beauty of recording live, but I really do enjoy my method of content creation, which is where I treat my live streams as recording an episode. Especially being able to interact with guys and answer questions and get info from you guys as I'm playing. I find it indispensable. I love it. I know a major downside is it makes my channel full of videos that people want information from, but the stream is an hour, 2 hours. It's not the easiest to follow, but it's hard when I enjoy it. You know, I don't really want to change my methodology, but I hope that by introducing individual tutorials in the coming months, things will improve. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I'm not seeing any errors yet, but I'm sure we will see them when we try to join the server. I do not have Distant Horizons installed at this time, so that's not the issue. The only other thing that could be the issue is my flashback recording mod, since I'm using the connector, which allows you to run fabric mods on Neoforge. But looks like we are back up and running, so no worries there. We have our glowstone, we've added iron, we've added sand. Let's try to make some patterns. We would need 19 more sand and a bunch of Certus quartz dust to make 100. I'm going to grab and put some of our Certus quartz dust in our main storage. And I will just make, see if we can make 60. Perfect. This will give us all the patterns we're going to need for today's crafting. And while those are crafting, why don't we start out by getting our cart assembler? Oh, that's right. We have to wait for the craft. Right now, it's just going to be waiting on glass. I'm going to take this glass, throw it in manually so it does it faster. We'll hurry and get our patterns. And then we'll craft the cart assembler. But today will definitely be more of a chill progress day. We're just exploring Stave carts, and what we'll do is every time we hit a waiting period for Stave carts, we'll work on our various AE2 and other technology setups. I think will work out pretty good. Let's make our cart assembler. And then what I'll do is while we're exploring the cart assembler, I'm going to queue up the craft of, oh, you know what? We never made a pattern for the crafting storages. I'm going to go for a 4K this time around. And I'm just going to see if we can make 2 of these. We just need Certus quartz crystal. Easy peasy. Brian Mortensen coming in on Twitch. Hi, Fallen. Hope you're doing good today. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. We're just chilling. Mostly just hanging out. And now that that's crafting, why don't we take a look at this? We might want to clear an area for testing. I'm starting to think. I think would be good. I'm going to take our shovel here, and I think the best way to clear this area is going to be to go like that and then put this into small tunnel mode. That gives us a little area to mess around with Stave carts, so we should be good here now. Go ahead and put down our assembler. And oh boy, okay. Here it begins, folks. To start making a cart, please add a cart hole of your choice to the hole slot. That's got to be up here, if I had to guess. So why don't we take a look now? Now we know that the next step will be to investigate the different types of holes. I'm going to also take these. Quickly grab a little bit of cable, which I think I have... Yeah, this cable in my backpack from helping people earlier. We should have a good amount of channels next to this crafting storage. So I'm just going to quickly break some terrain here. This crafting storage is actually touching the controller directly. So if we just expand out here, bring the cable along, we can just go crafting CPU, and then I'm actually just going to put this one down to the side. Perfect. Now we can queue some more crafts. Brian says, yesterday I made 100% damage reduction and put it in my pylon. It's broken. I don't need armor anymore. Holy cow. That's awesome, Brian. I didn't know that was possible in this version. That's really cool. I'm going to have to look at that later. I don't know if I'd use it 100% of the time, just because of how broken it is. But it'd be fun to mess around with, nonetheless. But here we go, the next step in our progress of coming to learn and understand Steve carts is to take a look at the various holes. So we've typed @Steve to target the mod, put in a space to add a secondary search, and directly typed hole to bring all these up. So there's reinforced. It says modular cost 0 and won't occupy sides. Well, I'm sure we're going to figure out what that means soon. A wooden hole. The creative is probably for testing and stuff, but we're going to take a look here. Mechanical pig will occupy the front side, which is probably like a seat. Galgadorian. Pumpkin chariot. Oh my gosh. And standard. You guys already know. So I'm gonna make a standard hole shape here, just so that we have one. But you already know we're probably gonna make a pumpkin chariot. That sounds phenomenal to me. Let's see what that costs. So it's any form of plank, a pumpkin, and wooden wheels. So let's put that in and also get wooden wheels as a pattern. And maybe we can explore the differences in these hole types. Hajakanis coming in on Twitch. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm going to make a standard hole and a pumpkin chariot. And then while we are messing around with these, let's try to get some more extended pattern providers. In that case, I already have the glass cable and the concurrent processors in there. The only other things that we need are crafting tables, capacity, and pattern providers. I'm going to try to get 2 pattern providers, 6 crafting tables, and 6 capacity cards. Looks like we had enough. I do know we'll need more cable. Let me just hurry and grab or queue up a little bit of that. And we'll leave these crafting while we continue to explore Steve carts. So let's just give this a minute here. That should be good enough. Let's throw all of these in. Perfect. So we've got 2 holes here. We've got the basic hole and the pumpkin chariot. Putting in the standard hole. As we can see, it's unlocked some of the sides. In this case, the standard hole can only do 3 of engine and 1 row of add-on. Hole capacity 200, complexity cap 50, and I'm sure the total cost, total time will go up as we add on to it. The pumpkin chariot, unfortunately, doesn't allow any add-ons and only 1 engine, and it has really low cap, so it's probably just more of a fun thing to mess around with. So let's just put the standard hole in there. Looks like it does preserve inventory. And probably keep up on... Oh, give me a second here, folks. I'm gonna manually harvest these. Double check. Okay, so we got a tree. Indeed. Look at that. So even for trees, the pneumatic craft saplings stay. That is good to know. So that is a successful test. That's exciting. Coming over here, why don't we go 1 section at a time? In this case, let's start with engines. Let's look at the available engines for a cart. So we'll @Steve space engine. And here we have an upgrade of generic engine, upgrade of thermal engine, and then the engines themselves. So I assume these are used on already assembled carts. We'll ignore the creative, but otherwise there is coal engine and tiny coal engine with a 2 and 15 cost. Compact solar engine occupies the sides. Center and top for 20 and basic center and top. Interesting. So you can solar power these. And advanced thermo engines require tanks, which I assume means you can make it run on lava. Let's see what it costs for solar. So we'll go ahead and make a pattern for the basic solar engine, which I'm curious if it's needed. Okay, so making the more advanced types doesn't require the previous engine. Interesting. Maybe we see what tier of engine we can craft. Let's make a pattern for advanced. And advanced solar panels. Oh yeah, this isn't too bad at all. It just requires a lot of iron. That's not bad at all. So we're going to give our cart a solar engine here of the largest variety, which will probably take up... Oh, did I make the engine recipe itself? I didn't. Let's get that really fast. But it does say the solar engine will take up right and left sides, so that it may not be the best for trying to make a harvesting cart. But I still think we should check it out. Really wish my voice wasn't going out, but we do what we can, right? Let's go ahead and craft that, and then I'm going to take these providers. Oh, not in the pattern encoder. Whoops. I'm going to quickly make some more pattern provider upgrades. In this case, we need to use it on the top and the side. Hopefully our engine is done. And let's go take a look what happens if we put this in the assembler. Okay, so it adds more of a cost, but we haven't learned what the cost is yet. And right now it would take 8 minutes to assemble. Oh my lord. We'll figure this out. The assembler doesn't have any fuel, but I haven't learned what fuel it requires yet. Why don't we do a few searches here? So typing fuel doesn't bring anything up. I wonder if it's just coal. Let's grab some coal and see if any of those like bottom 2 slots take the coal as fuel. I'm just curious here. So we'll try this slot. Perfect. So that was fuel. That does make me think that this corner is either an output for the cart or is related to this cost, since we haven't learned what cost is yet. Coming back over here, let's at Steve, and I'm just going to take a little bit of a look here at these various blocks. So an advanced detector, a junction rail, module toggler, external distributor, liquid manager, and cargo manager. Okay. We do need to choose a tool for the cart, but I'm not seeing one that sounds like it does anything we would want it to do. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe the farmer is just what is needed. Why don't we try... Ooh, that's expensive on the diamonds. Let's just try to make a farmer. And let's see what it does. What happens. because maybe the farmer is the harvesting and it just does a visual effect. We are short diamonds for the farmer, and since that is our goal today, we might have to go mine some diamonds really quick. I don't think it'll take too long. We tend to find diamonds pretty easily. I was going to see if we had the ability to make any form of diamond sight, but I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I don't think that's even in the pack necessarily. So why don't we go ahead and let's take a little break from our base, and we'll go and try and get some diamonds. I think that'll work out well. We could do a 2-for-1 here, which is explore out to the nearby deep dark and look for diamonds down in the deep dark, as well as all the modium could work out pretty well. We can't mine the all the modium though, because we are just short of our ancient debris. That does make me wonder if we have... I just want to see what our scrolls are. We have Preservation, Frost Resistance, Instant Mana, so nothing too crazy there. We might go on a bit of a side journey here, guys. Here's what I'm thinking. Why don't we go try to get one more ancient debris, make a netherite pick, and take that to try and get diamonds and all the modium in the deep dark. We'll take a bit of a sideways journey here for what we're doing. Timely Miner is offering a stack of diamond blocks, but I think that's a little too much for our cause right now. I want to progress. You know, I want to earn and have methods set up to gain these resources without just being given them, like at least right at this time. So let me try to do this one myself, Timely, but thank you so much, and who knows, maybe I will, if we get super unlucky, we may have to request some help later, but let's see what we can do, at least for right now. In terms of our armor, it's not that great, but I think we'll be okay. Why don't we head into the Nether and try to get some more... Just one ancient debris. Yeah, we could do the divination rod from excuse me, from Theurgy. We could go a divination rod. We could attune it to diamonds, but the thing is right now I can't attune it. I can't attune it to ancient debris is the problem. So why don't I ask this? Timely or Brian, or I guess Bubble Brainer's the one that's on. Does anybody who's on the server right now have a raw ancient debris I could attune a divination rod to? Now, Bubble Brainer has said he's got one for us. Now, what we're going to have to decide here is there's a couple choices here when it comes to divination rods, right? There's a couple choices. By directly crafting certain types of rods, it will... So, like, these are the tiers, and then the rod, you right-click the block to attune with it. You can just choose direct materials or precious materials, or you can directly craft a budding amethyst. So what I think we'll do, since we don't have any diamonds, We may have to just make an iron divination rod. I think that's the highest tier we can make right now, since we don't have any diamonds. So we'll take the iron divination rod, put down some ancient debris, and if I remember how to use these correctly, so crouch click a block to attune, right click and hold to search, right click while holding after a successful search to let the rod show the last found block without consuming durability. Because the durability is the main concern here. Oh no, so to attune to ancient debris, you need a netherite rod. Now to craft that rod, it consumes an ancient debris. So technically, to make an ancient debris rod, you would need 2. So I think Bubble Brainer is gonna toss us another gift here. I appreciate it. But yeah, we would just need 1 more. So we'll put 1 down to attune to. Thank you so much, Bubble Brainer. I appreciate it, because at least we get to showcase a system here. And we're gonna make this rod. Now, that does mean we need a blaze rod, as well as some glass. Perfect. Netherite divination rod. Then, hopefully, we'll just, we'll sneak click here. Perfect. We are attuned to ancient debris. And again, we right click and hold, and it'll search in a radius, and it uses durability. And then while we're still within that radius, if we just do a quick right click after a successful search, it will show the last found block without consuming durability. So let's go give this a try. Let's see how well this works for us. Let's try to get a bit more ancient debris. Oh, and Iris broke again upon entering the Nether. But it didn't throw an error in the log, like the actual Minecraft log. So I think what we'll do is we'll finish up our time here in the Nether, and I'll reload before we go look for the deep dark, because I don't want to reload again if we're just going to lose our shaders again when we exit the Nether. So I think it's best we just get ancient debris without shaders, then go back to the overworld, reload the game, and we should be good from there. Now what I'm looking for here, because I used shaders to disable the fog, and I think what I can do is in the Nether fog, which is this one, I can turn it off. There we go. Now, map-wise, there was this is where we got our prior ancient debris, which was by going to a nether wart biome. I apologize, I can't think of the biome. Crimson biome. I wanted to see where that was, and it looks like it's right above us. If we fly around, perfect. Because for those who don't know, in crimson biomes and whatnot, the ancient debris can be up near the ceiling. So let's just give this a try. I don't think I completed this search. I'm gonna try again. Okay. It completed. Am I crazy? How does this... Uh-oh. It says where it found it. I just want it to highlight it. 1176 90 negative 235. That was at 1176. So I'm curious if we can see the highlight if I just get in line with it. Yeah, it's definitely going down. So let's dig down here, and it should be at Y90. So there it is. It doesn't highlight the ore itself. So that's what I wasn't aware of. I thought it would highlight it. But let's go ahead and do a new search. It did find some. And if we just come back up, I'm curious if we like come out in the air. Oh, there we go. Now it's pretty easy to see. Okay. That's easier to understand. So it's still going this way. We could just look at the coords, but I think it'd be fun to try and use the effect here. So it's still going this way. Now it's saying go over here. I don't want to waste too much time on this though. We will, I think, go try and get our diamonds. As soon as we get one more thing of ancient debris. Beautiful. So let's grab that, and we'll go ahead and head back home. Now, what I'm thinking we're going to do is reload one more time for our shaders. And we just won't go back into the nether. I think we'll be safe in terms of our shaders if we avoid changing dimensions. So give me just a second here, folks. And what I can do is I can look into what's causing Iris to break upon going in the nether. My best guess is it's that I have Sintra connector and flashback, a fabric mod, and the fabric tunnel installed could be breaking Iris. But I can mess around with that later. Let's just get back in game. I really want to make our first... I want to make our first cart. The only thing I don't know... Oh gosh. Give me just a second here, folks. I want to know, I want to know what crafting the carts cost, but my best guess is it's going to be emeralds, but we'll figure it out when we get there, guys. We'll quickly, I just really want to see if we get our first unobtainium today, and then we'll fully focus on carts. Okay. I'm going to store our divination rod to probably use on diamond ore or all the modium. And we do need to duplicate our ancient debris. In this case, we just need to do it once. So let's stand here, turn off our jetpack, and I'm going to save the rest of the ancient debris to be duplicated with theurgy. I think would be better. We'll take our netherite scrap. We'll make a netherite ingot. And we should have 2 smithing templates, or well, 3 because the quest also gave us 1. And then we just need a smithing table. Now we can make one, or I believe there is the... Oh, they disabled the command now. That's right. That's right. Let's go ahead and make a smithing table, right? Did we gather one? We did. We did get one from a village, so we're good. So there is our netherite pick. Oh, our game froze. There we go. It was just doing quests. Which I assume is this. Yep. Hey, well, that did give us 3 diamonds, which is exactly what we need. But I really want to go see if the deep dark by us is worth anything. Oh, we just got another ancient debris. I think that was from one of the gear quests. I probably should have collected that one myself so we knew which one it was exactly, but oh well. So let's take our nature's compass. We'll reset our insomnia and turn it to daytime. And we'll go check out the deep dark biome that it found near us. I'm hoping that since there's not too many players on, we'll be just fine to do a little bit of exploring. It does say it is in that direction. It says it's at 10,722 and negative 2918. So why don't we come into our waypoints? And in all, let's go ahead and try making a, not a group, but a new waypoint that is only in the overworld. And I can't remember the exact coordinates off the top of my head. So what I'll do is I'll save it for now. And we need 10,722, negative 29. So just 10,700, negative 2,900. That should be easy enough to do here. Edit the waypoint. Oh gosh, I already forgot this part. I'm just going to say 10,200 and negative 2,900, I think was about where it was. And we're going to call this deep dark. Oh, it was 10,700. I am going to fix that. Otherwise, we'll be too far off here. In fact, I'll even do the 2-2. There we go. So we should now see that waypoint. Yep, there it is. It says deep dark. We're going to fly up. We've got a lot of power stored up, so I'm going to go about 80% flight. Hopefully the server can keep up well enough here. And let's just go for a flight here. If we get ahead of the chunk generation, we're going to slow down. Because what can really lag the server is if you are ahead of the chunks being sent to you. So it's important to keep that in mind as you're flying. See, we're starting to get ahead. Let's just let the server breathe for a minute. It's definitely it looks like we were going through explored chunks and now we're in new. I do want to check out that village at some point. Now we're doing new chunks, so the server needs a minute. Ooh, another structure. I'd love to check these out later. We'll have to do kind of like an exploration stream would be fun, because we've hardly left our base in all of the episodes we've made so far. So I think that'd be good to do a little bit of exploration. I'm sure we could find some good loot. Maybe even complete some quests, specifically magic quests will be pretty good. But here we go, we're almost there. It's pretty much loaded in. In terms of the compass, it does want 2918. It's under the mountain, which is pretty standard. So let's lower our throttle, and we're going to go on a bit of exploring here. Now, I am in need of some resources, so why don't we grab a little bit on our way, since we have our super backpack on. Now, this is going away from the deep dark, so we may have to dig down here. It says we're about 50 blocks away, so I'm just going to grab some of these resources, and then we'll head down. I want some of those. Give me this copper, this tin, and I do want some regular old dripstone for more extractors. I'll grab this coal, and we'll call that good. Okay. We're going to come back up, kind of up over here. Throw away our resources. And since we have a jetpack, we can safely descend. Now, I'm noticing our jetpack is not charging. Does that mean we've already consumed all the power we had stored? Or the chunk loading is not currently working at my base? So I'm going to come back home. Yeah, we definitely hadn't consumed the power. So let's come into our chunk manager. Oh, our base is not force loaded. I'm going to fix that. And we'll head on back. I forgot I disabled that earlier. Let's go ahead and change our vein mine just to a small tunnel. And head downwards. So what we're looking for, so deep dark is pretty low. But we hit cobblestone, so this might be a dungeon. What are the odds of that? I'm really sad that guy blew up, because we need a mob swab of him. We want cave creepers for spawners, but we are currently in a catacomb, which is pretty dangerous. So I don't necessarily want to explore this. We're just trying to get to our deep dark, which is that direction. I don't really want to fight the catacomb though, so we're just going to head on over till we are directly above the deep dark. Says it is this way, and then we need to go across. And we're pretty much there. So why don't we, it's gotta be downward if I had to guess. So why don't we head down into the deep slate. And here's a cave. This might be of use to us. Let's see what we find. So we're trying to locate the exact deep dark biome. It says it is that way. The only downside of the compass is it doesn't tell us the Y level of the biome. But I'm hoping we'll be able to figure it all out from there. We'll grab some more diamonds. I'm not going to attune to diamonds right now. I'd rather attune to all the modium if we find it. Oh, I forgot about that. Don't mind those blocks, guys. I totally forgot. I was not thinking about mining stellarite. But Hajakana says, I hope I can play again soon. Me too. I hope to see you on the server again soon. I'm going to clean up our inventory a little bit since I made the mistake. Wasn't thinking. I always forget that that can blow you up. Okay. So continuing on here, the deep dark is, we're moving away from it. Why don't we head kind of back to it? Oh, we did hit water, but I think it's, yeah, it's kind of like a single block. I'm just going to go this way. Ooh, I'm not one to pass up redstone. Let's try to be a little safer here. And our biome is in this direction. Now, we still have blocks beneath us, so there's still a chance it is beneath us. But one thing I can say for certain, at least right now, I do not think it's an ancient city. Unfortunately. An ancient city would have been nice, but we'll just take what we get. Oh my gosh, that's going to take forever. Let's come up. Take down. There we go. Yeah, it says 15 in this direction. If we get right above it, maybe we can try to dig a line straight up and down till we find it. But considering we're already at Y level, I guess we're only -20. Okay, so right here is distance 1, which puts right here as distance 0. Let's do it. Let's just go all the way down. Taking a look at ores we pass through: sulfur, prosperity, gold. Probably more prosperity. Okay, we are officially, we passed through the deep dark biome. It's right up here. That's really weird. We got the quest for it. So the only thing I can think of is we see if there's any tunnels, because all the modium only generates exposed to air. So we while in the deep dark biome, we need to find essentially a cave tunnel. So I'm just gonna watch. I'm looking beneath the mini map where it says we are in deep dark, and we're just gonna dig around a bit. There's the bedrock level. I'm moving towards the caves on the mini map, but the downside is that there's no guarantee that cave will still be deep dark. Oh, look at that. More diamonds. Trying to keep an eye on my pick's durability. But I am going to keep using the large vein mine. There we go. So here's a cave. It says it's deep dark, but I'm not seeing skulk. Let's come up over here. It still says deep dark. There's some diamonds. Our goal here is to try and get our rod attuned to all the modium. But without finding skulk, I have a feeling we're not going to get too lucky today. Unfortunately. Still deep dark. I think this cave's a dud. I don't think we'll find all the modium here. That's unfortunate, but we could head, it still says deep dark. So if I just go small tunnel mode, We come over here. Darn, it is just a regular old lava lake. It doesn't seem to be connected to any like massive tunnels is what I'm seeing here. We did hit the jackpot on diamonds though. But I think in order to get back to Steve carts, I think we'll call the exploration for all the modium here. Maybe we can revisit this deep dark later to truly map out its borders. The only thing I can think of is we quickly check the cave in this direction as our last-ditch effort here. Definitely getting lucky with diamonds, though, so I can't complain too much, you know? Let's see where it is in this direction. Still got some durability. There's the cave, and I heard some weird noises. But yeah, we are back in taiga biome. This is no longer deep dark, so I think we're dudded out for the moment, guys. Let's go ahead and head back home, clean up our inventory, and we should be good. In terms of total diamond haul, we got almost a stack, which is pretty good. I'll take it. I'm gonna just quickly do a little bit of inventory management. We got plenty of more copper too, which is exciting for some of our future projects. And we have also restocked our coal supply. So overall, a pretty good journey. We also now have a netherite pick, so no worries there. I think everything's going to be pretty smooth sailing. All right, so for our cart, right now we finished engine. We want to make the farmer tool, which required diamonds. So if we come back over here at Steve and go for a basic farmer, we should be able to get it now. Perfect. And this occupies front side. So our solar engine occupied left, right. Our farmer occupies front. And look, there's the plows. Perfect. Current cost is 68. We still don't know what that means. We don't know what cost is. We might go a little ham. Maybe add some attachments, some storage, and add-ons, just to really see what this can do. I think the storage will be important for in order to actually handle the crops it has. So we want the module type storage. Internal is the only one that doesn't go on the sides. So let's make a pattern for an internal storage. Which looks like we also need a pattern for chest pane, chest lock. We'll go ahead and get those really quick. Throw all these patterns in. Let's get a internal storage. It says won't occupy any sides with a modular cost of 6. So can I do like 2 of these? I'm curious. Let's find out. Because currently, oh, the cost is our capacity. So that's what we're trying not to pass. We can't pass 200. Okay, you can only do 1 internal storage. We could add to the back, but I think it might be better to see what the attachments are. looks to be these. So let's see, you can add batteries, which gives fuel capacity, a brake handle, an advanced control system, railer, large railer, advanced shooter, a torch placer, a bridge builder, and a shooter. I think since we're not trying to make any form of defensive or track building machine, why don't we make a battery upgrade, which I think is an add-on. It's not a attachment, but we'll still try to make it. If we can figure out what this reinforced metal is made from. It is made from stabilized. And stabilized, oh gosh, oh, now we're getting into Steve carts. Oh my gosh, we found a rabbit hole. Oh no. Let me put in the recipes we've made and see what we need to do from there. I am legitimately interested in seeing if we can make this add-on, because getting this recipe done will basically, it looks like it'll be a lot of the recipes we need. So in this case, we just need hardened mesh as a pattern, which is right here. And we already have patterns for refined hardener. Just need iron bars, and these are patterns, like the iron bars are ones we'll need for other recipes, so that's good. So the question now is, could we make a battery upgrade? Looks like it. We do need to worry about, if we do want to put an attachment, I need to see what those are again. So let's come into our pattern encoding. Let's look back at attachments again. And the only thing I can think of is making an advanced control system. I want to see what that does. Definitely another rabbit hole. I'm gonna make a couple of the other patterns first. So let's get the graphical, the wheel, and the speed handle, as well as we're gonna have to do blue dye from lapis. That's really our only option right now. And lastly, the advanced control module. We'll put all these in, and we'll see what our capacity's at before we decide if we're going to make anything else for the cart. Let's go ahead and get our advanced control system. Oh, we missed refined handle as a pattern. It is a smelting pattern that is produced from raw handle. Easy enough. Put the smelting recipe in the furnace. And let's go ahead and try that again. Perfect. So now we have an add-on and an attachment. So, oh, the batteries don't go there? Where do the batteries go? I don't actually know. Oh no, so look at that. The advanced control system uses right and left, or sorry, uses right, and our solar engine also uses right and left. So that's not possible. Is there a way what I want to know is, can you like change or add more sides? So like if I just type side, I want to see what it does. Side tanks, side chests. What if we do it? Nope, that's also the same. This is kind of like our best way to figure it out, since we don't have documentation. I am curious what the add-ons are. So these are add-ons, not the upgrades. Upgrades are not add-ons. planter range extender. Villager detector, crafters, interesting. Fertilizers. We'd probably want a fertilizer in ours. Liquid cleaner, enchanter, melter, crop, netherwort, advanced smelter. We're just going to go through these and see what all of them say. Note sequencer, cleaning machine, drill intelligence, information provider. That might be good to just make anyway. An incinerator, firework display, height, hydrator, extreme melter, experience bank, player detector, chunk loader. Ooh, that's interesting. Power observer, liquid sensors, smelter, cake. There's the seat, but that takes center and top. Dynamite and freezer. So the question is, if we want to use the advanced controller, can we use a different engine? So currently, our storage doesn't use any size. The farmer uses front. So if we went for a thermal engine, we'd have to add tanks, but a regular center engine or solar engine does center top. So we would need to do a different solar engine, and we need a seat. So let's get a seat. Or you know what, guys? I'm actually going to go without the advanced control system. No add-ons, just storage, just this cart. It's about time. Let's see what happens if we try to assemble. So currently it says it's going to take 20 minutes. So my question is, can we take our time in a bottle that was gifted to us and speed that up? We definitely can, but we're going to run out of fuel. Let's get some more fuel, because I just want to actually put one of these carts in the world and start using it, you know? All right, we're going to go max 256. And boom, there it is. Modular cart. Okay, let's sleep, try to put one of these in the world and see what happens. So in terms of the cart, and looking at Steve mod here, there's the cargo manager, liquid manager, external distributor, and module toggler. So I'm going to make a cargo manager. Let's see what this requires. Let's see if we even can make one. It needs a ton of, once again, very weird looking parts, but we'll make them. Let me see what other ones we need to make here. So if I tried to make the cargo manager, we need a pattern for large and huge of the iron plates. So let's go large and huge. Throw these patterns in. And make our cargo manager. We'll see what it does. We also, we need rails. So why don't we actually get a pattern for minecart rails? Oh, we have a good amount. Why don't we just use the ones we have? We'll hold off on patterns for now. And let's see what this does. So just to start, I'm going to put down some powered rail. and put our cart on it. See what happens. Okay, so there is our cart. Oh, we do get a GUI for it. So there's the farmer, the internal storage. So how was I supposed to use the upgrade of the batteries? Do I just right click it? No, that's definitely not it. Oh, would you look at that? It already farmed around. Interesting. Okay. So how does this work? Uses various sides. So the side would depend here. So we would say like grab from green, give to red would like pull items out of the cart. The solar engine can build up. Oh, and it'll just start moving. Okay, so because oh, I get it now, guys. Because we made an engine, you wouldn't need powered rails, right? So if we just quickly put down a course here, I just want to test some of this out. We probably made the cart way more expensive than it actually needed to be, but I think that's all part of the testing. Now, these do need to be, the crops need to be hydrated. It looks like it can only go side to side, so I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll dig out this center and fill it with water just to see what we can do here. So let's grab some buckets. So far, in my opinion, it's definitely harder to do than like just a create contraption, but I think that's in part to my my non-understanding of the mod, or like my lack of knowledge. So I think like as documentation starts to come out for this mod, we might start to really learn its possibilities. Why don't we also grab a chest for storage? And we need some form of crop. In this case, we don't have carrots, but we do have potatoes. Let's just try growing potatoes for now, I guess. Or we could do a really interesting test. Let's grab an inferium seed and see what happens. I'm going to put the chest on red. Each side has its own slot, or each color. Let's just go each side. And in this case, we want the storage slot. Turn back after transfer, continuing after transfer. Oh, I think we needed to do that on green. Let's come to green. Okay, here we go. So we're saying green to red. Continue after transfer. We're going to put down the cart. And I'll just put some crops and seeds here. Let's see what happens. So that did work. It planted what we put in there. I'm going to pull out the rest just to see what it will do. So now what I'm wondering is, should we have put wasn't there a fertilizer system. I also still haven't figured out where to use the upgraded batteries. So if we come back to Steve's while that cart's running back there, I think we need to make the module toggler and see what happens. I want to know what that does. So we'll go ahead. We have almost everything we need minus orange dye, which might be a little difficult because of the yellow. I might have to just see if I have some dandelions. There we go. We'll throw all these in. Let's make the module toggler, see what it does. In my, if I had to guess, it'll be similar to the cargo system in that when a cart passes by it, you can tell it to enable or disable certain modules, if I had to guess. The other thing I would like for our cart is the fertilizer. Is that what it was called? It says won't occupy any sides. We do need a few patterns here. And I guess what we're going to find out is once you have officially made a cart, can you modify it? Like add more to it? So there's the fertilizer, but wasn't there also... See, I'm wondering if water tanks are needed. I think that's needed for hydrators. That's if you didn't have water. Like in this case, if you didn't have water in the middle of the farm, you could have it do the hydration yourself. I'm going to move our cart assembler back. And I'm going to put the module toggler here because I am sure... Yeah, so if I had to guess... As a cart passes it, you can tell it to disable certain things. We'll have to experiment more with that later. But I'm going to grab our cart. Okay, so you cannot... If you've made the cart, you've made the cart. That is that, it seems like. So, out of curiosity, if we put that back down and just quickly grab our pumpkin chariot. Oops, wrong one. We have 15. That's already 10. Oh, but this can't take add-ons. Okay, we're going to make one more cart here, guys. We're going to make another cart and see if it can fertilize for us. That'd be really interesting to find out. So I'm going to grab a standard hole. Get rid of the night because we're running off solar. And in this case, why don't we quickly make a panel? Oh my gosh, a pattern for the other solar panels, which in this case, this occupies center and top. Let's make this pattern. This will open up the sides on this new cart. We're gonna see if we can make a cart that does fertilizing and what that means. I would also really like to know how to use these upgrades. Oh, whoa, look, it goes higher up. Goes to power crystal. I just want to know how to use the upgrades. So we'll put in the hole, we'll put in the engine, we'll put in the fertilizer. But there's nowhere for upgrade batteries to go. I really thought there'd be somewhere in there. Maybe there's another machine we're missing. We'll need storage for the fertilizers, so let's grab storage. And then I'm hoping we can use that advanced control system. Coming back to Steve and looking at upgrade, there is no machine with them. Oh my gosh, did these go? I thought it was like reading that one that we were just reading. It seems like it's for the cart assembler because of module disassembling time. Oh my, I want to know more. I really do. We need a seat, no matter what. But now I'm worrying if that's going to center and top, and the fertilizer is also center and top. So I think the advanced controller is purely for us driving a cart, if I had to guess. Let's just give this some storage. And we have the sides available, so we could try adding stuff to the sides. There is side chests. There's also tanks. So much to learn with this mod, and so much of it is confusing. So I think we'll just have to give this a try as is. Just to be safe. Why don't we do tanks and a hydrator? I just want to see what it does. So we want side tanks as a pattern, which has, once again, a whole bunch of tiny recipes we need to add. Let's add all of those. I'm really glad we made all those patterns earlier, let me tell you. Okay, we need to do tank valve and we need more sand. The downside is I forgot to do that. We need a tank valve, which I want as a pattern. And we'll use our live only gifted time in a bottle to speed this up a bit. How close are we? I think we need like, yeah, 5 more sand. I may have to set up a permanently running sand producing setup here. But let's grab our side tanks, as well as make a pattern for for a hydrator, because I am curious whether or not I just want to know exactly what it does, you know? Oh man, none of these are... Okay, it says substitution, so it should allow acacia planks, right? If we queue a hydrator. Oh, it says alpha planks. That is not what we wanted. Let's grab this back. Oak fence from oak plank. That's what we want. It'll still want oak planks because we're using an oak fence, and I'm starting to think that the oak fence is necessary in the Steve Carts recipe. I don't think it'll allow like an acacia fence. So let's just give it some regular oak planks. We'll grab our hydrator and our side tank. And let's see what this cart's starting to look like. So there's definitely still some more hole capacity available. I don't see any reason to add any of these tools to it. Because like the farmer occupies front, and I think we have front taken. Oh, we don't. Should we make another farmer? Till we learn how to disassemble that cart? I'm gonna make one more farmer, guys. Give me a second. Might be able to put all of this into one machine. Let's give it a test. Go ahead and grab our farmer module here, see what we're at. Yeah. We do have room for attachments, which if we look those back up, none of them are like really necessary for the farmer, so we don't need attachments. Add-on wise, we really don't need any others for this. We'll go ahead and we'll get this cart, this new cart being built. And while cake server seems necessary, maybe Bubble Brain, maybe we do need a cake server, but I think what we're going to do is, because we've added the hydrator, we need a liquid manager now. So we'll go ahead and encode that pattern, as well as advanced tank. Oh no. Oh no. We're good. We're not putting an advanced tank in. We're just making the block. So we should be good. Let's see. We're probably going to need more sand. Let me just hurry and get that. And let's get our liquid manager. Oh my gosh, one sand off. I was so close. There we go. We'll get the liquid manager. And I am wondering if this will work side by side with a sink, or if you have to put another form of tank. Oh, we're low on iron. Definitely used a lot of iron. But from what I can tell, as long as you're not trying to go for higher tier stuff like we did while making this, you could totally get away with some of these contraptions like earlier in the your progression. So let me see if we have enough terracotta for a sink. If I click this in, we do. So let's come over here. And we're going to do the liquid management here. So we're going to green. We're going to green. We're going to go, each side has own tank. We're going to green from red. But it doesn't appear. We may have to add a fluid pipe. Let me get a fluid pipe. Maybe that is the answer here. If I just pump into it. Nope, it doesn't show it there. It wants it here. What if I change the configuration system? Nope, that doesn't change anything. So you have to do it that way, but what if you... Is there any placeable tanks from Steve's? Wasn't there pipes? I feel like pipes would be necessary here. Yeah, there's just a pipe. So if I grab one of these... Oh, it appears it's just a crafting component. Oh, darn. Wasn't what I thought it was. How would you autofill that system? It's gotta be... There's gotta be a way to use the liquid manager without putting... having to manually put the liquid inside. And the only thing I can think of is we need to see what this external distributor is. Let's give it a look. See if it solves any of our problems. It can be used for Bridge Manager. No, not connected to any managers. I think I gotta put the red. That's definitely a manager. So how do you connect this? What about this kind of manager? Okay, so it accepts the cargo manager. Do I need to put it on top? Aha. Okay. In here, we have the various color sides. From cart to cart. Oh, you build it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we'll put this back on red. And from red side, oh gosh, I gotta learn how this works. We'll figure this out. Unless it's that red. What happens if I put this here? It doesn't let me... Oh boy, this is confusing, folks. Let me tell you. This is going to be a nightmare for people to figure out. Or what? Do I need to specify the liquid? Okay, so that just put water in there that way. Can pipe go to that? It can. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So I need it from the red, but I don't know where to use these cards. It worked. It worked. I messed up the side distribution, but that's fine because now all we need is the... From the tanks to the cart, it'll give water, and that's all we needed. We probably did it in a more complicated way than was necessary, but that's just how we'll have to learn right now. Let's go ahead and come back outside and let's finish up our replacement cart. So I'm going to break this one. We'll have to figure out what we can do with this, because we never figured out how to use the battery upgrade, which is really unfortunate. So here is our super duper new cart. Uh-oh. Oh no, I thought it duplicated. Okay, but I do want it going this way. Looking inside, it has the tanks. It has a form of fertilizer. It didn't stop here. Continue along after transfer of the green side. So it's not stopping for some reason. What could we do to fix that? Oh, I think it stopped that time. Let's take a look at it again as it comes by. Definitely doesn't have water. Why is this so hard to figure out, guys? Okay, that did nothing. I think I got to use the distributor. So 2 cart green. Does that work? Okay, at green side, drop here to add this setting. Two cart green. Interesting. It's got to be that green that matters then. So I'm curious here, if we change the layout by putting the liquid manager down here, pumping water to red. I have no idea if this is going to work, guys. We are just experimenting today. I do want to be able to see this. So right now, it's doing nothing. And the downwards face of this is orange. I just say all orange, what happens? Nothing. 2 cart. Nothing. Oh, wait, no. We're talking about the sides here. So we want, from this, coming in the red, 2 cart. And the green, 2 cart. We'll see if that does anything. I don't think it will, though. Yeah, we need this manager to hit the cart, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to put the manager down. Right now we have a green to the cart. The distributor on top. All we have to do is put down the sink. We pipe water to the distributor, which is coming in the red side. So we say red side to cart. That fills this with water. Now we want the cart to stop on green to get filled. Yeah, we're currently transfer to cart. Water. Interesting. I don't think I understand it enough to figure out. We may have to just put water in here. Lock it as water. And the only thing I can think of is what we could do is on the green. This is getting difficult to figure out. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea. How to fill this tank with water externally. On the bright side, it does seem it's just for farmland, so we don't even need the hydrator right now. But what I'm realizing from this cargo manager, because we're pulling from green right now, we may have to add a second polar. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to realize something. We need a distributor for like every part here, is what it seems like. So like we need another distributor in order to interact with this chest, from what I can tell. Oops, I did that backwards. So let's put this here. And we're going to put the chest on red. And red is pulling from cart. Because the green right now transfers from the cart. Is that right? So if we give this cart enough items to have too much, what happens? Let's grab a bunch of potatoes. And while we're at it, let's grab some bone meal and see if the fertilizer works. So if we come in here, right now green is pulling from cart, but my question is, we did red from cart. If we take one more chest, I have no idea if this is going to work. We're going to take another chest, put it on the distributor and say to cart and see what happens. So we're going to take this chest. We're going to put it on yellow. And we're going to say yellow side goes to the cart and put all this in. What happens? Okay, it didn't stop. So that didn't do anything. All we can do is just change green to give to cart, right? Isn't that it? Oh, what we could do is say all color. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. We're going to try something here. We're going to try something here. So we're focusing green. So let's change this to green. This is going to be the pulling from the cart. We want to pull from storage. Then also with green, we want to push to the cart seeds. And we'll change this color to green. We want to push to the cart fertilizer. Now with all that in there, from the yellow side, there's got to be a way to pull from this. Oh, you know what? It's got to be... It might have to be piped in. Similar to the water being piped in. I don't think it itself can pull. So for now, let's just come in here and we'll give this some potatoes and some bone meal. So green side Continue after transfer, continue after transfer. To the cart, to the cart. So the question is, why isn't the cart stopping? This is definitely a pain to figure out, honestly. Can I just disable this one? It's all set to max. Why won't this work? Can it not take the potatoes? Does it need to be? What if I just put this one as... No, because the fertilizer should work. So that's not it. I really wish I knew how this worked. How do we get it to actually talk to the cargo manager? The only thing I can think of is it's a certain type of rail. I don't think it'd be a junction, would it? Let's just see what this does. So that didn't do anything. There has to be some method of doing this, and I think it involves the upgrades, and I just don't know how to use them. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to just see if someone else has figured out somewhat of how this works so that I too can learn it. The only thing I'm thinking of is putting the distributor up here broke our system. That's the only thing I can think of. So if I put the potatoes and fertilizer in here now, what happens? Nothing. And it's set to green side. Darn. The only thing I can think of is maybe... Hear me out. Does it go above it? I want to see what the underside looks like. So if we come here, no, because it's still, it's color based. It would have to be next to it, right? So if I just fill this, default settings, what happens? Nothing. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into it more. At least we know at this time, if I take the cart and I give it fertilizer and give it seeds, it will work. You see, right now it's planting and it's fertilizing. You can see it fertilizing some of those crops. So I think I will just do a little more of my own research into what this needs and exactly how it works. And I think if I do, next episode we'll be able to really start utilizing more of these carts. But I wanted to try it myself first, because I really enjoy exploring mods and trying to figure them out, because in most cases, I say most here, in most cases, a mod is pretty self-explanatory. It can, in most cases, you just play the mod, explore its items, and you can figure out most of what you're trying to do. But in this case, we are running into the issue of we physically can't figure out how to interact with the cart with the managers. We need to learn what managers need to interact with. So I think I'll research that, and next stream we will try to, if I find the information, I'll try to show you guys more of Steve carts. But today we went over how to understand updates, we explored a little bit of Steve carts, and we did a little bit of work on our AE2 system. We've added more crafters, we have added more extended pattern providers. I think we, next episode, will briefly touch on Steve carts if I figured out how to interact with the carts externally. Otherwise, I think we'll go back to doing some more quests and maybe trying to improve the base. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this little more of a relaxed late night episode, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night, wherever it may be in the world. Thanks for hanging out with me. I've been Fallen Pumpkin. Bye-bye.